So filtration occurs at the glomerulus, which is a specialized fenestrated capillary. So we could talk about that. It is not like other capillaries in the rest of the body, but it is more permeable. So it is a fenestrated capillary. So it is more permeable than most of the capillaries in your body. So when blood comes in to capillaries, substances are forced out of them. And that forcing out is due to a pressure that is called hydrostatic pressure. So if I were just to draw like a capillary bed right here, what's going to force stuff out of my capillaries is called hydrostatic pressure. So hydrostatic pressure is going to force stuff out. And this is just a pressure like being exerted, like when you stick your thumb over the end of the hose and you create a smaller opening. It's just like this force of fluid through a smaller vessel. So the hydrostatic pressure is going to force substances out. Now there is an opposing force that actually causes stuff to move in, and that is called osmotic pressure. And osmotic pressure is due to solutes in the blood. So this is due to solutes, particularly a solute called albumin. This is the same type of protein that is found in egg whites. So albumin, and it's in the blood. So it sucks like water back in. So we have these two kind of opposing forces that are moving stuff out of the glomerulus and into the capsule, and then into those tubules, the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, the distal convoluted tubule, to be modified. So because these are very permeable, lots of stuff leaves. Now, if we look at this fenestrated capillaries, there's actually two layers. So there's two layers to it. So the first layer is referred to as the parietal layer, and it is actually the endothelium. So when we look at the parietal layer, it is the endothelium of the blood vessel. Actually, I guess I don't need a little. And then the visceral layer is another layer that is only found on these specialized capillaries in the glomerulus. And it is referred to as the podocytes. So these are the podocytes. And so if you look at this word, podo, P-O-D-O, means foot. And so the podocytes are cells with feet-like extensions. Feet-like extensions that actually help to keep some stuff from getting out of the very permeable capillary. So like, for example, we don't want albumin getting into our, the large protein albumin getting into our blood, or excuse me, into our filtrate, so into our urine. So let's look at a diagram of that. So blood comes in via the afferent arteriole. Here we have the inner capillaries. These red blood cells, you do not want them to leave. On the outer layer, you see these yellow things, and those are the podocytes. So that's the visceral layer of the capillaries. It's very strange. So let's look at another image of it. So this is my capillary, and it has this red part would be the parietal. It's just the lining of like a normal capillary, but it's a little bit more fenestrated. And then we have these cytoplasmic extensions of the podocytes that create filtration slits. And so these actually help regulate what actually gets to leave the blood and enter into the filtrate.